Let's move on to East Africa now. In a controversial move, Uganda's parliament on Tuesday passed an anti-gay legislation which proposes tough new penalties for same-sex relationships. Supporters of the new law say it is needed to punish a broader array of LGBTQ activities, which they say threaten traditional values in the conservative and religious East African nation.
In our country, we will have our morals. We will protect our children. And we are making this law. We are making this law for ourselves. We are making this law for our children. We are making this law for the children of our children. This country will stand firm. And once it passed, I can tell you, Madam Speaker, we are going to reinforce the law enforcement officers to make sure that homosexuals have no space in Uganda.
Now, according to the law, violations under the law draw steep penalties, including death for so-called aggravated homosexuality and life in prison for gay sex. It also criminalizes the promotion of homosexuality and abetting and conspiring to engage in same-sex relationships. The bill will next go to the president, who can choose to use his veto or sign it into law. Uganda is notorious for intolerance of homosexuality, which was criminalized under colonial-era laws. The bill marks the latest in a string of setbacks for LGBTQ plus rights in Africa, where homosexuality is illegal in most countries. South Africa is an outlier on the continent, as LGBTQ rights are enshrined in its constitution. Nevertheless, violence against queer people is still rife in the country. In Kenya and Tanzania, gay sex remains a crime under colonial-era laws, and with penalties including prison terms of up to 14 years. Last month, the Kenyan government intensified its restrictions on imported books with LGBTQ themes after public outcry. Kenyan President William Ruto declared that same-sex marriages could happen in other countries but not in Kenya. He says homosexuality was a Western imported factor that Kenya's customs, traditions, Christianity and Islam cannot allow. In Ghana, security forces raided and shut down the office of an LGBTQ rights group in the capital Accra after politicians and religious leaders called for its closure. They later advocated for anti-gay laws to be passed in parliament last year as fears grips the LGBTQ community. Activists say it is high time for African countries to reassess their positions and take action to protect marginalized, victimized, and often criminalized LGBTQ communities. WeOn is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.